stories you know and love in an up-to-date, edgy style. Religion, Ho-Ho's way. I welcome you into the attic, and this is Religion, Ho-Ho's way. Alright guys, today I want to talk to you about the story of David and Goliath. Alright, this one it's a good story. It really is. Amazing story of the Bible. Okay? This thing is primarily about, a young guy, and he defeats this, this warrior, a warrior of warriors, and it is an account as well of how faith propels us to trust God, no matter what the appearances, no matter what the circumstances. It's just to trust God, to have faith with the bare minimum. I mean, it's the ridiculousness of it is, he didn't even have the bare minimum. At least not in, not in my eyes. Not in anybody else's eyes. And this is, it's like I admit, this is one of them stupid stories that, a lot of people try to, it's, a lot of them things that people try to, well, I'll get to that after the story. All right, guys. But first, David and Goliath. Now, of course, there's a lot of story, a lot of parts of this story that I don't remember. I probably should have, read it again in the Bible just to, get my facts straight and, maybe give you a little bit more just nuances in it. But, I mean, truth be told, I don't want to say these are insignificant details that I don't remember, but it's not necessarily the point of why I'm bringing it to you, And the story of David and Goliath can be found in 1 Samuel 16 and 17. And I mean, I really do invite you to look it up and read it. I mean, it really is a good story. It's very, very cool, And I tell you what, these are. I'm going to tell it to you more in the original. I don't want to say original. Well, let's just put it this way. There are aspects of this story that people leave out in children's Bible school. And, that's one of them fallacies of today's teaching method, if you want to call it, It kind of goes back to, along the same lines as, like with Brothers Grimm. You read back, not Disney's version of it, but Brothers Grimm. It was dark, guys. It was really, really dark. Kids don't need to know. They don't need to be told that monsters exist. They already know this. Children don't need to be told that there's a monster underneath their bed, because they already know. Kids don't need to be taught that there are giants out there just waiting to squash you, because they already know. What a kid needs to hear is that good can triumph over evil. That right will triumph over wrong. That if you stand up on your principle, you stand up on your faith, and you stand up for something real, it will triumph. Kids don't need to know that monsters are real. What kids need to know is that monsters can be defeated. That's what kids need to know. And that is the reason why Brothers Grimm was written in a way that it was. it gives you the stories. You know, the even more ridiculous ones. But it gives you what you need to know, especially as a kid, that evil can be defeated. And that right there is a great message. I can end it right there. And this show would be worth it. This podcast would be worth it if I stopped it right there. But oh wait, there's more. Oh yeah, there's much more. We're talking about David and Goliath, guys. All right, now a little bit of history. No. I'll get back to that. Yeah, I'll get back to that. All right. Whew. It's a good story. It really is. All right, so David. All right, he's a young kid. He's, let's just say, 10, 12. Let's say he's 12. Yeah. He ain't quite a teenager. You know, he's old enough, but he's still too young to do. You know, he's not a teenager. He hasn't crossed that magic number of thresholdedness. You know, he hasn't had his bar mitzvah yet. He hasn't crossed into becoming a man yet. You know, he's still a boy. He's still a child. All right, and he's got, you know, other siblings. I don't know, 2, 3 brothers, whatever. I don't remember how many. You know, and they're fighting in the army. You know, they're doing their duty for their king. They're fighting in the army. I don't remember who the king was. I don't remember if it was Samuel or if it was Ben Shapiro. Sorry, that was wrong. But I don't know who the king was. I mean, I really don't. I wish I did. But it's not going to detract from the story, you know. But as what he does is he goes to the military base in order to, you know, give food to his brothers. And, you know, the fighting wasn't going well. You know, it was just, I guess it was like a back and forth, if I remember correctly. I mean, it was one of them things that, you know, it might have even been one of them things that they had us dead to rights, but they were just toying with us. You know, and that's sometimes what the enemy does with us. You know, I mean, they just toy with us. You know, regardless of anything, they just want to break us down emotionally, break down our will, and just toy with us. So there came a point, you know, during, you know, I guess a ceasefire or whatever, you know, that they had a man come out. And this guy, I mean, he was huge. He was a giant, guys. You know, don't tell me giants don't exist, because they do. You know, I've already covered that in, you know, well, not really covered it with Moses, but, you know, because I did that one more or less on the 10 Commandments. But, you know, giants are real, guys. We've had fossils get dug up to prove it. You know, there have been entire cities and villages of giants, and you know, giants date back a while. This isn't anything new that we didn't know. All right, giants were real, and this guy comes out, and he's huge, and he proposes something to the king. He says, "I am the champion of this army. I challenge your champion. Win or lose, there is no draw. It is a fight to the death. The winner fights for the king, and he who wins gets the glory, wins the battle." You know, I don't remember exactly what the stakes were, but again, that's not really, you know, not exactly necessary in the grand scheme of things. You know, not important in the grand scheme of the story. So this goes on for several days, you know, and every single day David, you know, he goes out there to give food to his kin, to his brothers. And every single day at like the same time, 0900, you know, here comes Goliath, and he marches on out to the center of the battlefield, and he gives this challenge once more to the king, to the other army. Send one to fight. Send one to fight. And David, he's like, I mean, he's a young kid, you know, he doesn't know, but he He looks at his brothers and he's like, what the heck? Why are you guys letting him do that? Isn't there one among us that has the guts to stand up against him? I mean, come on, guys. It's like, we're Israel. We're the promised land. We are a chosen people. What, you mean to tell me that our faith isn't good enough to go up against one guy? And his brother's like, dude, you're just a kid. You don't understand what's at stake here. You don't understand what you can lose. You don't understand how big that son-bitch is. And David's just like, well, I do, but what you guys don't understand is I'm just a kid. I mean, you guys are bigger than me. I ain't afraid of you. Why the heck should I be afraid of this guy? What's going on here? God promises that he'll protect us. God promises that he'll get us through this. God promises us victory. So why are you afraid to go out and meet him? And their response is, you're a kid. You wouldn't understand. You're just a kid. And I want to pause it right there for a second, because guys, that's it's one of them things that, the Bible says that, the children will inherit the kingdom of God because of their, it's a blind, childlike faith. You throw your kid up. Well, this one time, man, all right, a buddy of mine, his boy, he's young, he's really young. And I get halfway close to him, and I mean, he knows me. This boy has looked through my eyes, and he had seen my soul, and he knew the quality of my heart. All right. And this boy, I'm like, he's on like a stage or something, and he just, I'm walking up to him, and his face, the excitement whenever he sees me, and he sees that I'm coming to him, and he wants to get to me so bad. But he is unwilling to wait. I get close, kind of, and he just full on jumps out at me. Faith. Love. He had no idea if I was going to catch him. And I thank God that I did, because I almost didn't. I almost dropped the boy, and he was like, like 4 or something. I mean, he was young. And I wasn't ready for it, because I really didn't think he was going to jump. But that was a lack of understanding on my part for not understanding the simple faith of a child. Because he knew that I would protect him. He knew that I wouldn't let any harm come on him. He knew that I had him. He knew that I'd sacrifice myself to save him. And that's why he jumped. For everything he was worth. And his faith was that I would be there to cover that little bit that he wasn't able to provide for himself. He knew he had that faith that I would take those few running steps to get him, because he wasn't going to make it to me. And that's the type of faith the kids have. And it's an amazing kind of a faith, and that's the kind of faith that David was demonstrating in this story. That's the type of faith that he's demonstrating. That's totally the type of faith that he's demonstrating, because he knew that God's word said that, I got your back. Don't worry about it. You do what you can do. You bring to the table the cards that I dealt you, and just operate on faith. Take your 2 cards into the pocket. But whenever that river gets turned, you'll see that I have the plan. I had already prescribed the outcome, and I got your back. Don't worry about what's in your pocket. Just know that when the cards get flipped, it's going to be the right one. And you're going to be victorious. An awesome story of faith right there. But to continue into that, this is, well, he goes to the king, and he's like, King, what gives? Don't you guys fight for God? doesn't he say he's got your back? The king's like, man, have you seen the look at that guy out there? Have you seen how big he is? And David just kind of looks over his shoulder and was just like, yeah, he's just a giant. Duh, just a giant? You're insane. David goes, no, I'm not insane. I have faith. Durr. So they try to outfit David, all right? Now granted, come on, guys, this is a kid, 12 years old. And they put on him armor, the king's armor. The king's a big guy. That armor didn't fit. It was hanging off of him like nobody's business. It didn't fit. It was falling off of him. They tried to cinch it up. It fall on him even more. He took that crap off, and and they were like, dude, no, you've got, okay, I don't know if it was a king's armor, if it was just armor. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's unimportant. What's important was he went out there with nothing. The helmet was too big. The armor was too heavy. It was too big, and he couldn't walk in it. He couldn't move. He couldn't function. How the heck is he going to face him in armor that isn't his? He took it all off, every last bit of it off. He went with nothing but what God gave him. He went with just the rags on his back, and he went with a sling. That's right, a sling. On his approach, on his way out to the battlefield to meet David. No, for David to meet Goliath out on this battlefield, he looks down, and he sees 5 smooth rocks. I want to pause it right there, guys, because I got a nugget right here for you. All right? And this nugget, this might change your outlook of how you feel about this story. It might change your outlook of how you feel about God. So, right here, we're going to take a small break. And when I get back, I'm going to tell you a little something about them 5 smooth stones. I'm going to tell you a couple somethings about those 5 smooth stones. Something you may not have known before. Something that, even if it's just the gravity of what this means. All right, this is cool stuff, man. This is really cool stuff. Stick around, just a few minutes, and I'll be back. we left our hero walking out to the battlefield to meet Goliath. Mano a mano, head to head, giant versus little boy. And he looks down and he sees these 5 smooth stones. Okay, now here's the thing, guys. They're out in the desert. All right. Rocky terrain, sand. Okay. And these are 5 smooth stones. What's the significance behind that? Well, think about it. Where are they? In the desert. Where do smooth stones come from? A river. Now, whether these stones got there through a natural occurrence, who knows? Or whether these stones were dropped by other people while they were going from A to B. I don't know. And really it doesn't matter. But this is another avenue of faith. You know, on your journey to battle the demons, even when you think you are unprepared, sometimes you just got to look around at your environment and have faith in believing that what you need to accomplish the goal that you have will be there. And this is a testament to that. Because them stones did not belong there. David didn't take them there. Goliath didn't throw them over there to him, to the other side of the battlefield. These things were brought there in advance by nature or dropped by somebody else. We don't know. We'll never know. But the fact of the matter is, God prepared the way in advance for David to go up against Goliath. And what's the significance behind the 5 stones? I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Goliath had brothers. Oh yeah. He had brothers. Goliath came from the land of what was it called? Goth, I think. Goth. And it was known in that time frame for the people who lived there, they were giants. And he said, it is written that he came from a family and he had brothers. He had 4 brothers. So not only did God give him what he needed to take down Goliath, not only did God, in advance plan for him to go up against Goliath, for those 5 smooth stones to be used by David. I mean, let's face it, any other person in that army may not have seen those rocks and been able to come up with a way to use them to take down their enemy. But David did, because David was operating on faith, and that's kick-ass. But he also provided David with a weapon by which to take out not only Goliath, but his brothers too. And that is also kick-ass. I love it. So here he is, man. Mano a mano. Goliath in his full dress. Just kicking it. David walks up there with a sling. Fighting stance. And of course, Goliath looks at this little bitty kid with this little bitty sling with this little bitty rock. And what the heck are you going to do to me? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me? Cool Whip. What are you going to do to me? And he gets a sling. He's twirling it. Slings back then weren't like the slingshots we have now. It was, you spin it like a lasso type of thing, but it's a sling with a rock in it. And he releases that thing, and it hits him right between the eyes. Now, perception here, all right? Of course, science has said that there is no way that sling killed Goliath. That rock getting struck. What's the likelihood of that rock, hitting him at a place where he was vulnerable and it killing him? Okay, I'll concede to that. It probably just did nothing more than knock him out cold. Alright, I'm fine with that. But, you see, you're missing a part of the story here. You really are. Because after that sling, after that rock hit him in the head, David went over there to him, to his motionless body. Maybe not dead, I'm willing to concede that, but motionless. He was knocked the fuck out. He picked up Goliath's sword. He held it high above his head, and he hacked Goliath's head off. Oh yeah. He took it off. Did the rock kill Goliath? Who knows? Who cares? The sword surely did. Did Goliath need the other 4 stones? No. Because Goliath took out their champion. And Goliath's brothers, whether it be out of respect because of what Goliath had just accomplished, what he had just done, respect for him going up against a warrior and their brother dying a warrior's death, or whether it was out of fear because if they can take out, because that's the thing too, guys, another aspect of this, that David may have had, or Goliath, I'm sorry, he may have had 5 other brothers, but at this point, okay, the Israeli army, the Israelites, were no longer afraid because they just seen a child take down a champion. They were no longer afraid. They were standing there on the other side of that battlefield, truly unafraid. They had no chance. Let the brothers come out. It wouldn't have mattered at that time because they seen a true miracle happen. A miracle. So there you got it, guys. Story of David and Goliath. Granted, that story isn't, I don't want to say it's not one of my better stories, it's a good story. That's all it is. It is a good story of faith, and it really is very, very cool. It's a neat story. Regardless of whether it actually happened or not, it doesn't matter. Okay? I'm not here to discuss whether it did or whether it didn't. I am just taking the story for what it is, a story. Okay? A parable is described as a earthly example of a heavenly principle, like the prodigal son, like the story of the 3 talents. Were they true? Who knows? Maybe in some way, shape, or form. You read, what book is that? Ecclesiastes, maybe? I don't know, something in the Old Testament. I don't remember. But, nothing new has ever happened underneath the sun. And this was written by, I think, a king. And it's not an uplifting book. It really isn't. This is one of them, of all the books they decided to take out of the Bible, why the hell did they leave this one in? It truly is a mystery to me, But this book, if I remember correctly, this book doesn't talk about God. This is, in a matter of speaking, this is a book, not really a wisdom type of a book. It's just a Hey, I've lived life. I've I've explored all facets of nature, of human nature, good side and bad, and I've done it all. There's nothing more to do. There's nothing new that anybody can be done that hasn't already been done. You know, it's not an uplifting book. It's really not. You know, so there's nothing new under the sun. He's done it all. You know, it's not a unique thing. So, I mean, based off of that, yeah, it's very possible that it could have happened. You know, but who actually knows whether it, that's the story that they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. This pretty well concludes the show, guys. I thank you very much for joining me on this one. Yeah, good times. Later on today, tomorrow, Sunday, at 1300 hours Central Standard Time, that is 1 p.m. Oh, sorry about that. I had a small frog in my throat again. But, tomorrow, or today, at homegrown American here. So I'm not even want to say it. It's oh my God, a video. Oh, wow. Okay, dude, guys, yeah, wow. If I don't know if I get in trouble for this. I don't know. I don't think I care. All right, hold up a second, guys. All right, let's add a little bit of music right here, just to pull up a video. You guys will thank me later. All right, guys. All right. I'm back. All right, now I had a let's oh shoot. All right, I'm sorry. I really should have.
From a website.
Okay. All right, guys. So this is absolutely hilarious. Oh. All right, this is hilarious, guys. I laughed so hard, and this is not PC by any standard. All right, guys. Enjoy this. I will try not to laugh. I really will.
Purebred American Thad Ranger here, with some very exciting news that I wanted to share with you. A few weeks ago, I received a letter through the emails from a website called adamandeve.com, offering me a free membership. Now, with the name adamandeve.com, I can only assume that this website is dedicated to Bible history. So I jumped at the chance for a free membership to adamandeve.com. With that membership, I was promised a free gift. And today, through the regular mails, that gift arrived. So I wanted to share with you this special moment as I open the free gift from adamandeve.com. That's a giant penis. Yep.
Oh, it stopped. Oh, come on. Oh, well. Oh, come on. Quit your buffering. All right, guys. I'm sorry. Thad. Well, I I just closed it out. Thad Roberts, whatever. Anyway, guys, please look this guy up. He's got a couple of them out there. He's got like 3 or 4 of them just on that one topic right there. But hilarious stuff, guys. Yeah, definitely not PC. But, all right. You guys have a great one. Today, 1 p.m., very awesome episode. I am so excited about this one. I will have a special guest with me, and we are going to be talking about stuff. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you guys have any comments, if you guys have any stories, Bible stories, topics that you want me to, touch base on, and stories you want me to tell, please feel free. Send me a message. Link it somewhere. I am on YouTube. I am on Twitter. Twitter is @HoHoShow. The other one is something that's on YouTube. It might be HoHo. It might be my name. I don't know. I'll look into that. I'll let you know tomorrow. All right. Peace. Thank you.